collectible giveaway weekly on this channel, big card, and I wanted to make a quick video about how I've been able to sell few cards. Again, if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm a longtime collector, did take a pause for a few years, and then just recently, a few months ago, got into flipping, into selling cards. It was something that I never had done before, and I was like, you know what? Something that I need to get into, right? I mean, not that I need to get into, but something that I need to get familiar with. Not that if I'm going to stick with it or whatnot, but I need to see what's it all about. And so my situation is a little bit different. So my strategy, I've had to adjust, and you know, just like anything, if you've ever started a business, you know that you test. It's a lot of testing. You may start out a business. Let's just say you're making glasses. And you start off making glasses, and your vision is, I'm gonna be making stylish glasses, and then you find out, you know what, there's a niche that the market has need for, the demand is for it, but yet there's nobody really tapping into that. So you decide, you know what, I'm going to get into safety glasses instead of the stylish glasses. I'm going to get into the safety glasses, and you scale your business because nobody else is doing it. So, you know, oftentimes when you start out a business, that's what happens. So, you know, I looked at it as a business, starting out flipping cards as a business. So I just went in and I started testing different things. I worked, I messed with ComC, Star Stock, eBay. Gosh, I can't remember if any others right now, but you know, I briefly messed with Macari a little bit, and it's just, look, everybody has their own style, their own what works for them, right? So what I did was I got on Market Movers, link in the description if you're interested in Market Movers, the software that keeps track of your collection's value and the values of cards, and single cards or actual wax. So I've got a stack of cards right here, actually. So what happened was I went on Market Movers, and I started probably close to a year ago. Not close to, when was it? Beginning of this year, and I said, you know what, let me start analyzing the data from Market Movers. And then what I did was I saw that there was a dip in football. So I mostly bought a lot of football, but back then, you know, and it was, the season just had finished. So that's right, that's when I started. So flipping cards, and I started this YouTube channel. So what I did was I scooped up what I thought was good, as far as a good turnaround for investment when I saw stuff that was on the dip. And then I bought very little baseball. So I have some baseball, but so one thing I did learn as far as flipping, right? You want to grade your cards, right? Because grading is look, it's a necessary evil. You could leave a lot of money. I went to I went to a card show, and one dealer told me, he said, you know what? Once I started grading, that's when I realized that I was leaving a lot of money on the table when I wasn't grading my cards. So I was like, okay, I needed, and that's one thing you also with business you learn. I have failed numerous businesses, and one thing I learned probably 2-3 years ago was that, you know what, it's always best to have a mentor. I failed it in one business venture. It was a brick and mortar location, and I never thought that, you know what, somebody who has the same business half-hour away, they're not going to want to help me. So I never asked. But then when I was desperate, when I was trying to sell the place, I approached the other business owner that was, I don't know, about 30-40 minutes away. And he said, why didn't you come to me sooner? I would have helped you. I would have done X, Y, and Z. I would have helped you out with my distributor. I would have given you the plug. And you know, hit me. I was like, you know what, when you do a business just like this, is, again, it's like a business, you get a mentor, or having a mentor is definitely going to help you. So what I did was, I was like, all right, I started picking people's brains. Obviously YouTube is a great source, and and he only deals with high end. This guy I met at a card show, and he said, leaving money on the table, you got to grade everything. And so anyway, so I graded everything I got, And so again, PSAs, just the turnaround times are too long, and the price was just too crazy for a fast turnaround. So what I did was I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go and grade my stuff with HGA. I went and I submitted a lot of things with HGA, or I just bought it already pre-graded. So so I went and I did that, and HGA just was coming out, so I was able to get my cards in, and so I put them. Oh, so I got them in, but it still took longer than what I thought. So you got to keep that in mind. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to grade everything, but then you got to time it right. You can't go and submit it to grading just before. You have to account for that time. So when I submitted my baseball, I didn't get it back in time. So I held off on that. I was like, all right, well, now I'm going to have to hold on to these cards. So, so you know, I have Otani and whatnot, and I have a few other cards. So I didn't really go big on baseball, but I probably have, you know, maybe 8 cards in baseball, something like that. So that was lesson number one. And then another lesson that I learned was that I don't have the time. You see, that was my problem. So now I've got some baseball. I finally get it back. It was too late. Okay, I learned that lesson, right? So now I've got football, and then I bought basketball a couple of months ago. So now I'm sitting on basketball. I'm gonna wait a little bit more before I post those, and then oh no, I'm sorry, before I sell those. So what happened is this. So now I had football, and you all know that the whole market kind of dipped, and it seems like football, you know, because of performances, some cards are starting to spike. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and have to, you know, start posting. And the thing is, I don't have the time. See that as I mentioned, everybody's situation is different. So I don't have the time. I have 3 kids, 2, 5, and 8. You're talking about, you got to dedicate time to them. You got to wake up, right? Dress them, feed them, take them to school. You got to scoop them. Then I have work, I have, you know, a regular job, very demanding job. It's just, it's hard. Everybody knows what work is like. You know, it sucks. So you know, then after work, I've got to go get the kids, and then I have to. You got baseball practice, and you got to feed them again. You got to bathe them. You got to, you know, brush their teeth, put them to bed, nighttime, bedtime story. You got homework in there. You've got, you know, fights. You got to break up fights in between there. You got to eat literally at the same time, you know, taking care of the kids. And it's very difficult. Oftentimes, like 90% of the times, what I do is I throw my earpiece in, and if there's a video that I want to watch on YouTube and I listen to it, man, I tell you right now, it's very rare. 10% of the time, I'm able to go and sit down and actually watch it, even during work, because when I have it playing, I can't concentrate on work, and I've got, you know, I have to communicate a lot at work and whatnot. So I don't have the luxury of just kind of laying back and just chilling, because if I'm listening to it, I'm concentrating on my work, and so I miss the whole content of the video. Or if I'm listening to the content of the video, I oftentimes find myself just watching the video and then not doing anything, or typing or writing or whatever I'm doing, or looking up something. So so it doesn't work for me. You know, I can't, you know, listen, or I can listen to it, but I won't get all the juicy, you know, tips or information from the content that I'm listening to. So I oftentimes find it that, you know, and then I try to work out in there, somewhere in there, when the kids go to sleep, you know, I try to work out, and then now after that, now I have to take a shower, and look, trust me, but by the time it's all said and done, it's 9 to 10 o'clock, and I'm already, you know, looking to go back to bed, you know, and it's hard to do content like this. So it's hard to do anything. So enough respect to anybody who can juggle all these things. So with all that being said, the strategy that works best for me is when I get the card, and I've recently noticed this, I get the card and I post it at a price that I feel comfortable selling. Yeah, you may be saying, well, you know what, in a spike, you're gonna sell too early. You know what? I'd rather that than say, oh my God, this card is Cooper Cup's card is spiking. Let me go ahead and post it. And the next chance I get, a few minutes, and then 2-3 days pass by and he tears an ACL or you know anything. So or he has a bad game. You know, so that's the thing, you know. So what works for me, and the thing is, I've started to move some cards that way. I went and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take aside. I took aside like 2 hours and I put everything for sale, everything, and I put it up for prices that I'm comfortable. I have a profit margin. Right now, it's above what they're selling for. But once those sell and the card values spike up and the demand reaches to a point, I'm good with it. I'd rather that and move the card than not move the card at all. That's something that I've learned when it comes to the cards that I want to flip. So, what did I learn? Okay, unfortunately, you can grade raw cards. I mean, sorry, you can sell raw cards, but at the end of the day, for the best return profit margin, you're gonna want to grade your cards. There's cards that, you know, obviously once you start getting nines and whatnot or better, you're gonna look really good with your profit margin. And then, so besides that, you got to go and look at your timing, right? You can't go and try to submit your card if you're trying to flip it right before or 2 months before. But I'm sure you guys already know this. But remember, you know, I was new to the whole flipping game, and then you know, HJ was brand new, and I was thinking, oh yeah, they'll turn around and give me the card, you know, in a month or whatever it was, and it took longer than what they had said. You know, it wasn't horrible, but it is what it is. And then the other thing I said is I just don't have the time to be on top of posting cards for sale. So that's my third tip is, you know what, when the card comes in, and if you're a busy dad, busy family man, or what, busy at work, whatever your situation is, that's my strategy. Just post the card up from rip. As soon as you get that card in, just put it up for sale, and you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the card may go from, I don't know, whatever, $100 to $200, and you only had it posted for $150. But you know what? At least you got rid of the card and you moved it. Again, you know, I don't know how long I'm gonna really deal with this. I've done it. I've got to see a little bit. I may just try to sell what I have now, and then that's it. I don't think I'm gonna really keep up with this selling singles, even though it was cool. It was a learning experience, but it's not something that I really enjoy. And I'm not gonna, you know, fake the funk here on this channel and act like, oh yeah, this is card flipping 101 and we're gonna make a bunch of money and da 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 da, because I see that's what's popping. You look at the other channels, the channels that are popping are the ones that are preaching that, oh yeah, we're flipping cards and we're making X, Y, and Z and this, that, and the third. But it's just not my just not my C's. It's not just what I do. It's just not, you know. And I see that there's going to be more time that you need to dedicate to that, and I just don't have the time. And it's just, you know, when you start a business, going back to business, is you have to do something that you're interested in. If you start a business in something, like me, I'm not interested in makeup, believe it or not. And so if I start a business with makeup, there's people make billions of dollars, companies make billions of dollars with makeup, but I don't care about makeup, guess what? I'm not going to put the extra effort in. So same thing with this. I'm not going to put the extra effort in flipping cards. So unfortunately, it's just, hey, if my YouTube channel just doesn't become this huge YouTube channel, okay, fine, that's fine. People that want to just enjoy collecting and enjoy maybe some selling here and there just for fun, you know, we're going to, you know, have a lot of fun here. So I just wanted to keep it real, to me, to you, to everybody. So I just wanted to make a quick video to update everyone, because I know I've made videos in the past about, oh, I'm going to start flipping, I'm going to start selling, but that's the latest and greatest. And so, you know, bottom line, that's what I've learned. That's the strategy that works for me as a busy person. So you can implement that. But also at the end of the day, I don't see me selling singles for much longer. All right, everyone. Weekly giveaway. Don't forget, subscribe. I usually don't say subscribe because I feel like, man, you know, really, you know, if I like the channel, I subscribe. I don't need somebody telling me. So, but regardless, I'm mentioning it now. So, and then yeah, so that's what I've learned. And give me some some tips, some insights, and what you think is a good strategy, what you've implemented in flipping cards in the comment section. All right, thank you. Be good, and definitely think about your investments, and good luck in all the investments that you make.